like a good neighbor, we're here to bring you some of the news of the week, some exciting stories, and some big news in the chip space. So we're going to go ahead and dive right in with a topic that's been actually becoming a lot more popular here on the rundown. That would be CXL. It's ramping up quickly, and this story is going to be memorable. That's because the latest news is coming from a startup called IntelliProp, which has announced that they have a new line of chips that is designed to help share internal and external memory through CXL. Now, they're calling it the Omega Memory Fabric, and it is designed to solve those memory bottlenecks that occur when servers have more RAM than they need, but they're unable to share it with any of the other systems in a composable infrastructure setup. Now, that's mostly due to architecture issues, which is something that CXL is designed to fix. The Omega uses FPGAs for now, but they're soon going to spin their own ASICs to offer pooled memory across all kinds of servers, whether it's related to AI, ML, HPC, or big data applications. Stephen, we've been talking a lot about CXL. What should an announcement like this one do for CXL adoption?
Yeah, this is interesting because, well, there's a few nuances here. So first of all, I've known the crew at IntelliProp for a while. The company has been in business for a long, long time. They were actually a chip maker, chip designer for various companies. And in fact, if you really want to know, a lot of the SAS and SATA and NVMe and memory controller chips that are out there from various companies you may have heard of were actually designed by IntelliProp. And basically prototyped, designed, spun up, FPGA'd, ASIC, all that kind of stuff was handled by IntelliProp. So that's kind of the history of the company. They recently brought in a new CEO who's a familiar name in the industry, who is going to be taking the company in a new direction. And that new direction is basically producing their own products. And those products center around CXL memory fabrics. So essentially, IntelliProp, doing what IntelliProp does, designed an ASIC, which is not yet existing. It's an FPGA for now, but it's going to be an ASIC soon, that allows for host bus adapters and switches, that allows pooled memory outside the server. This is extremely exciting because this is what we're all excited. This is what we're waiting for from CXL. Right now, the current CXL products, of which there are, let me think, two, are basically memory expansion cards that go inside a server. And they allow you to have memory that's not on the memory bus, but is on the PCIe bus, which is awesome. But, that's just the first step. What we're waiting for with CXL is to get a fabric so that devices outside the chassis at rack scale can be composed into a server. Now, that's not here, and it's not going to be here for a while. In fact, the current rev of the CXL protocol doesn't even really support that. The CXL spec is really still inside the box. But there's new versions coming. It's actively being worked on. PCI Express is developing as well. We've got PCIe 4, we've got 5 coming, we got 6 probably down the road. And the same thing is happening with CXL. And that's really what we're seeing here with IntelliProp. So this company, who is really on the cutting edge of a lot of this stuff, they were active in the Gen Z consortium, where they were building pooled memory that scaled outside the box. Sound familiar? And Gen Z, as we've reported previously on the rundown, has been folded into CXL. And so essentially the IntelliProp solution that we're talking about here, the Omega Fabric, is basically a Gen Z product. But since Gen Z is CXL now, and all the CXL protocol is supported on the Omega Fabric, you can basically say that this is sort of a preview of where CXL is going. Now, for the time being, there's a lot of proprietary stuff in here, but all this proprietary stuff is going to get folded into the protocol sooner or later, and IntelliProp is absolutely committed to making that happen. They are very eager to have this happen, and this is really where the entire direction of CXL is going. So anyway, the bottom line is, if you're looking for a product that allows you to have pooled rack scale memory, IntelliProp's the only game in town. If you're looking to see where CXL is going next, it's going here. So be ready, because this is going to be a very exciting time in server architecture, and IntelliProp is showing us the direction that it's going.